Welcome, hello, my friends. We're going live tonight. Just just to chat, just to see what's going on with my friends, just to get a bit of an update. I haven't been live in about a week. I haven't actually put up that many videos. No lives. A couple of videos just a few days ago. Song reaction, house tour, system tour, a couple of things that are new in the system I wanted to talk about. On the suggestion of a friend of mine, someone who's on the YouTube said, get rid of the mirror. So I'm trying it. Initial impressions are I don't hear much of a difference, to be honest. So audibly, I'm not really sure the mirror did anything at all. A lot of people will say that, yeah, any hard surface in the middle of the system is going to change like stereo imaging or reflections in the front. But I mean, if you know anything about geometry and the sound energy coming off the back of the speaker, I don't know that a mirror in the middle of the room down low like that, that's angled sort of upwards, is really going to reflect a lot of high frequency. If you play pool, you know what I mean. What's going on, Acoustic Engineering? Scotty's in the house, living it with Scott and Kat. I'm not sure who's on, but probably Scott. What's going on? Yep, I got the shirt on. Hold on, let me flip this camera around, show my ugly ass face on camera. Yeah! That's what's up. And I also got this color on the chair. Oh, how's it going? Come here often? Some dumb shit going on today. What's going on? I know a lot of our friends are heading down to Cedia. Cedia is going to be very big this weekend. I know that many of our friends are going to be enjoying what Cedia has to offer this year. I wish I was going. Unfortunately, I can't. Looks like a Playboy episode. Yeah, she'd be like, just get my feet up. Hold on. How far away can I put this camera? Make it look stupid. You know how it is. My whole thing is stupid. So got the sun going on right here. What is this sun trying to show off? It looks like I just farted sunshine all over my new chair. People are gonna come and watch this live video and they're gonna think, what has this kid been on? That's how I get the audience, or I lose them. Yeah, so I wish I was going down to Cedia. Unfortunately, things like that don't happen for me, in the sense that obviously my style's a little bit weird. A lot of companies and brands are a little bit, what's the word? What's the polite word to use? Conservative. A lot of brands want to make sure that their appeal is to the most people possible, so that they have an opportunity and potential to earn the most possible. So any bit of oh my goodness, are you kidding? Don't do that. I don't know how I can showcase that, but there's a super chat that just came in here. Yeah, it feels like rain. Something hit me in the forehead and I was like, what is this? What just happened? Well, thank you for that. That's awesome. And thank you for this. This shirt has brought to you by the Living It with Scott and Kat podcast that Bass brings us together. I'll put a link after this video if anybody really wants to pick up the shirt. They have a bunch of different stuff that's out, new designs, hoodies, t-shirts. So if you're into bass and subwoofers and you're into the community in general, you're a nice person, you have good things to say, you hold other people up, you are positive and encouraging in the community, please, you can support by buying the merch. That's awesome. Thank you, Scott and Kat. I'm gonna group you guys together so you guys are part of the family. You're definitely part of the family. The two of you are. I'm not. I'm just like an adopted stepchild that hides in the basement listening to bass all day. Dashbirder's here. Scott Hernandez is here. It's a nice shit emoji. That's funny. You missed the little skit from earlier. Real Mandarin 9 says, guys like, I'm not really sure, but you like this chair, right? I know you like the chair. You like the smiley face on my pants? What's going on? Put my whole hand in his mouth. Oh, reaching around for something special. Nothing in there. I should put a surprise in there though. That's how I do it. Everything is weird around here. You've got 100 people doing podcasts and talking about audio, and it's all generally the same. I'm the one person who's willing to change it up a little bit. So Anthesius is like, I came at the wrong time, didn't I? Nah, you're all good. We're just joking around. I was talking about like that. I'm using the palm of my hand to reflect the light up to my face. That's cool. You want a scary story? Let's turn the camera around and show you what's going on with the system. System is pretty much the same. I do want to say that I got rid of the synergistic research stuff is not in the system anymore. I changed the color of the chair. The reason why the room is glowing is because the sun coming in the window is reflecting all over the chair, which is reflecting all over the front of the room. You can see the reflection there in the SVS. So that's the room. So the synergistic research stuff went back. I've reconnected the stock power cables. XLRs the same. Speaker cables are back to the Amazon, or not Amazon. It's an actual brand, but I don't know how to pronounce it. It's one of those cheap ones. So basically, just back to standard. Plugged into the power bars. Nothing really big. What were your? Oh, I can't tell you that in a live podcast. You gotta wait for the full video for that. Come on, you know how that goes. It would be kind of cheating if I just kind of summarized it in a live podcast just randomly, right? A lot of brands and companies, and I borrowed the gear from a local distributor. It wasn't from the company itself, so nope, I hadn't talked about that yet. It is still coming up. My thoughts are, I have notes written on them. I basically will give a subjective opinion of them because obviously I don't have testing gear like Gene does, or like Soundstage does, or like Amir does. And those guys will actually test cables and they will test to give like a result. But let's be honest, testing, measuring isn't exactly hearing, and everybody has their own sense of hearing. So no matter what I say subjectively, and this is really becoming a big issue, I guess the talking point to a point is the idea of reviews, honest reviews. Although the way that a lot of companies are starting to get a little bit I think the FTC, the FTC passed some law about the types of reviews or content or certain things that can be showcased or talked about now. I don't know how to describe it, but something about making them more accountable, making reviewers or videos more accountable. I have some thoughts about this. I think it's a little strange. I think it's good. I think it's positive that there's some accountability on deck for people who are giving reviews. You know what I mean? Like the way it used to be with magazines and journals and journalism, you're accountable to different levels. So me turning on my camera, giving my opinion, yes, I have influence, which companies are concerned about, but it's also an ability for people to say the wrong things without repercussions. They just speak to certain details, and it can lead the public in sometimes not advantageous directions. Sometimes in my case, like if I speak or show the truth, companies don't like that either. They're really in it. Let's be honest. A lot of companies are really in it just to have the spotlight, the limelight, the positive review, the positive remarks. They only want people that are representing their products to say good things about them. They don't want to hear negativity. Well, I mean, this commenter down here, why, oil up those cheeks, Unc. Do I look like an uncle? I just had to drink to that. That's a pretty funny one. And Theseus is saying, I'm eventually going to get all same this company cables and be done with it. Yeah. You know what? When I give my final results on the cables, I want to be fair, obviously, but I also want to be honest and say that, you know, obviously it's my opinion. It's my subjective experiences, which isn't the same as an objective fact or a universal truth, which is where some of these rules and reviews are coming from. And what I was going to say before I got to that comment is, if you're not able to just speak your mind, to say the truth without being criticized, condemned, or censored, there's definitely something wrong. And it's very, very telling of the either agencies or companies or otherwise regulation personnel that want to censor you for being honest, right? Like if you do or say something that's real, like keep it real, and then all of a sudden you get punished for being real, it doesn't come off like integrity anymore. It comes off like censorship. It comes off like media smearing. Like, of course, a brand is going to represent themselves in the best light possible. That's how you get all these fake bullshit wattage ratings. They want to look good. They play the number game. So they change the way that it was printed, and then they got, you know, penalized because someone came along like Gene and his Truth to Power sort of campaign a number of years ago, and certain regulations where companies had to state how much power they're actually selling because you can't false advertise. Well, a lot of reviewers have also said the same thing, like, well, I don't want to do a negative review because I only want to talk about what I like to talk about. That's very skewed. There's a whole world of absolute trash out there that it's valuable to talk about that stuff too, because maybe people want to know what to avoid as well as what to get. Now, I understand people are making their choices, but that's not to say there isn't another side to it. Now, I know why brands and companies want everything to be positive. I know why they want the regulations so that they cut down on people just saying whatever they want. Now, if you're saying facts and they're wrong, that's a no-no. But if you're speaking subjectively and you're offering your opinion, I have a feeling that these companies are not going to care if you only have 50 subscribers, but if you have 200,000, maybe they're going to care a little bit more because of the weight of that influence. It doesn't make it right, wrong, fact, fiction. Has nothing to do with it, in my opinion. The way that I'm looking at it is they're coming down on it because, yeah, people's word of mouth has an impact on the brand. If someone who's popular says something negative about a brand and people have trust in this public figure, they're going to side with the public figure. People, all of us, human beings, and I want to remind everybody at this point that my channel is called Sci-Phonics for a reason. I talk about psychology and audio. We're a tribal people. We like people that are in our same, you know, birds of a feather, right? That kind of thing. We gravitate towards people that we've learned to trust, those who have earned our trust. if they say things or if they show things, it's honest, or if it's consistent, then we tend to believe them. That's why word of mouth advertising is some of the best that you can ever get, some of the cheapest if you do it right. So yeah, brands are concerned that people who are influencers are either one way or the other on this coin. And of course, as a brand trying to make money, they want everything to be aligned with their goals. It doesn't mean that their goals are aligned with the truth. It just means that they want to have some accountability of what's being said. Now, this is where I get into shit, because I'm a stronger believer in truth and honesty and reality than I am with things like loyalty and tribe and whatever else you want to call it in terms of like what companies and brands are looking for. There's a way to tell the truth. Of course, diplomacy is always important, but if you were to go to a court and you omit facts, you can be seriously reprimanded for omitting facts, because the court is judging something that's going on. If you're doing a review, you're offering a judgment to the public. The public is like the jury. If you lie to a jury, you're fucked. So kind of like, you know, it's a little, it's a gray region right now. I don't know really what's going on. Anyways, I'm not a reviewer. Let me just put that out there right now. I'm just like I'm an audio enthusiast. I'm a community sort of commentator. I like to shout out my friends that are doing things in media, and if I've seen some channels or a review or a video and somebody said some things that are really cool, I think it's valuable, I'll send everybody to those videos, because I think that it's important for everybody to see them. Whether it's good, bad, whatever, if it's just informative, it's just a robot or an AI voiceover talking about all the data and specs of like, oh, did you see the new GoPro camera? Blah, 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 blah. You know, all these YouTube videos, everybody's after the money, really. It's kind of sad because there are very few that I see that are genuinely chasing the truth. All they want to do is talk about what is real out there, what is actually going on. I mean, it's one thing to give a negative opinion, but I mean, is it really cool that we're having our opinions censored now by companies who are interested in the results? They're like, that sounds very weird. Also, I want to say this. If somebody has a sponsored channel, shouldn't all their videos be paid sponsorship? I mean, think about it. Sponsored channel, like if Pepsi or Pfizer sponsors CNN, then everything that CNN is paid for by, you know what I mean? It's not video per video per video per video. That's cool. You have a sponsor per video, then that's different. That video might be sponsored or paid for, and there can be some interest there. But if you have a channel that's sponsored, like someone sponsors everything you do on your channel and they're paying you, I don't know how that arrangement works, and YouTube doesn't work like TV, but that's what this FTC thing is going to do, is try to regulate how that works. I think if somebody pays for your whole channel, every video should say paid sponsorship, because otherwise that's disingenuous. To say that the channel sponsor means everything's paid for, but if you say this video is sponsored by, then that's different, right? It breaks it up into more honest terms. I'm looking at it from a consistency point of view, not a critical point of view. Anyways, all this shit is boring. Let's talk about some audio stuff. What's going on with audio with everybody this week? Let me flip this over, show what's going on in the system again. I will need to change this over. This system has been in here for a while. These SVS and subs have done extremely well for me. I appreciate all that they've offered. I did just post a video in that Bass Brings Us Together group. Someone had asked me if they're Kanto speakers, because it's all black and white and dark and you can't really see any of the logos. So maybe if I had the lights on, then it would look a little more obvious like this. But no, these are the SVS Ultra Evolution bookshelves. I've had them in for review for a while. Sound demos can be found on the channel. The Arundel Towers are still in my other room, which I will show you in a second. So someone had commented that I had been really busy in this room the last little while, and that's not necessarily true because this room has always been like this, but I don't show it off much because it's not finished. A lot of the theater stuff is not in this room right now. A lot of the Monolith stuff is still here, but you can't see it. It's so dark. Yeah. I had to sell an AVR to pay some bills, so yeah. So let me see. Scott and Kat says we're watching Mad Max Fury Road tonight. It's been a while. Just watched the new one the other night. Oh yeah, Furiosa. I hadn't watched that yet. I was waiting. I did just watch the Netflix show called Chaos with Jeff Goldblum and a bunch of actors. That was a really cool series. I really appreciated what they did with like the story of the gods and Olympus and Zeus and all those kind of fictional characters or mythological characters. I thought it was a really cool episode. Yeah, that was a nice break from watching interviews about politics. Jesus Christ. Driving myself crazy listening to politics lately. So yeah, the reason why I don't show this room off much is because I don't have a whole lot going on in here. I have some things to talk about, but not a lot. So I don't show this room because I need a receiver. I don't know. It's going to be a little while before I get up to that point. Your boy's got to save some money, make some more money. So to that end, thank you for the super chat again, Scott and Kat. That's super awesome. That's actually my first ever super chat comment that I've ever had in my lives. So that's actually really awesome. Canadian government's going to come after me for the taxes. It's all good. I appreciate it. So we won't stay long tonight. Maybe just keep it to a half hour. Let everybody enjoy their Thursdays. I usually go on for about an hour, but I figured I would do this very randomly. So the future of the videos are the Star Crimson amps. I have to do a review on those. That's very, very blurry. I can't zoom in to the lens. Anyways, so I have to do the full review on the Orchard Audio amplifiers. Definitely check that out. I may do a follow-up summary to the SVS and subs integrated in the system before I move them, and then I will be bringing the Arundel Sound speakers back into the room. I had talked to my friend Jay about borrowing the Buchart S400s. I just need to go out and pick those up, borrow them. I'm not really sure what else I might borrow. There's a remote possibility I could end up with some KEF speakers, maybe in October. And then, of course, in October is going to be the Toronto Audio Fest. So Toronto Audio Fest happens every year. It's hosted by a great bunch of people. I really adore them. I appreciate their support, and seeing that my contributions in terms of like video and media work, reviews have contributed to the magazine that they're associated with, PMA Magazine here in Canada. So they run shows in both Montreal and Toronto. It's the same crew for both, and I'm able to attend both of those shows pretty regularly. Now, the shows that I was able to get to in the US, like Expona, Florida, those two shows the last few years, I got really lucky, and I'm super, super grateful for Hi-Fi Pig Magazine, who sent me to Florida, and then to Emotiva in 2023 and Jay in 2024 for Expona. I really appreciate the opportunities to go down there to those shows. Now, this year in 2025, I'm not really sure how things are going to go because those timelines are shifted a little bit. And let's be honest, my influence is not really that great. My channel is a little bit more niche. I'm still growing right now. So for me to get down to those shows, I've got to step it up a little bit. My channel here has grown a lot, and I really appreciate everybody who comes to join me here, watches the videos, subscribes to anything. All of the numbers in the support count. The super chats is a new thing, so I guess that will really, really help out. Um, I guess what I'm really saying and admitting at the same time that while I've gotten the growth, I'm actually really bad about business. I'm really good with doing media work, photography, video, talking live to a camera. I have no problem with this part of it, but marketing myself, doing all the money matters things, accounting, pricing, rates for work. I'm so bad at that stuff. I need an accountant, literally. Or I've been so used to working for others, like in my professional life, where I'll get a salary or a contract or whatever, and that's the rates, that I'm not used to working for myself and setting rates on my own and working at things and like with a business mind. I have an artistic mind, but it doesn't translate well into like managing money, managing time. What can I say? I'm good at some things and I'm not good at other things. And I suppose all of us can be like that. So am I going down to Florida? I don't know. I wanted to go to Capital. I wanted to go to Pacific. I wanted to go to the show that will be in Vegas in January. I wanted to go back to Florida in February. March will be Montreal Audio Fest. April will be Axpona. June, I think there's another show in South Cali. There's a show. Of course, there's like Midwest, Texas. There's so many shows. In order to go to all of them, it would be better if I had my own magazine. The magazine makes money by producing articles. The articles and the ad revenue that they sell on their web pages helps pay for their trips. And then, if I worked with a distribution network, maybe the distribution network wants photos and advertising and like follow up with some of the brands that are going to be at shows. I don't know where I fit in just yet. So I'm very grateful that I've been to these shows previously, but the future is unknown. I'm not really sure where it's going to go. All I can keep doing is this. Keep bringing some kind of topics with my friends, keep things honest, try to be transparent as possible, maybe a little bit controversial, which is probably going to cost me more than I need it to. The more on the edge that I get, the less favor I have with brands and companies, because they want something to be polished and perfect and represent only their interests. And what can I say? I have a higher moral value for truth and transparency than I do towing the line and keeping my mouth shut where it needs to be and having a company or a brand or whatever tell me what I can say and what I can't say. That's just me. I mean, I'm a team player when it comes to being real, but that also comes with being real about both ends, the good and the bad. I feel like mature people can understand if you tell them really what's going on. If you have a story, if you use diplomacy, if you speak truthfully about what's going on about a product, whether it's good or bad, or the reasons or the follow-up. Hey, everybody loves a comeback story. Everybody loves the recovery. It's not about how you fail. It's not about what goes wrong, because no one's perfect. Everything kind of messes up somewhere. But it's how you recover that really matters. The way that you make good on a promise, the way that you show up and you use customer service in terms of like following up with products. I mean, yeah, some things show up and they're lemons. That stuff happens. Shit happens in life. You know what I mean? It's about the recovery that really impresses people, how you can fail and overcome that. That's what really, really shows the integrity of a brand, in my opinion. Not the ones that are always trying to spit shine and protect their image by changing narratives. Like, that's 1984 shit. I don't really stand much for that. If you're running the 1984 George Orwell thing by erasing all kinds of words and visuals and say that didn't happen, this isn't real, that's not real, and they try to sweep the dirt under the rug and say, oh, look, you know, we'll rush and clean up right now because we have guests coming, but the rest of the year the place looks like shit. Come on. You're not really fooling anybody. You're certainly not fooling me. So Scott and Kat is saying, if you make it to Expono again, I will come up and grab you, bring you down for some demos, hang out for 2 or 3 hours. that is a deal. I may just skip Expona and just come for the base demos. I have to figure out the whole trip. That's, here or there, but I would absolutely love to do that in the evening. So fingers crossed the plan works out. We were talking a little bit earlier, and the Chicagoland area is not really far from where I live. It's just a matter of travel. If I can get the travel down, then totally, because I think I know a number of people in the Chicago area, and that would be awesome. I would love to go down and put some reality to the phrase where bass actually brings everybody together. Anyways, we're about a half hour here. Scott and Cat podcast, thank you very much for being here. And Theseus joined in talking about cables. I don't know who else stuck around, but I'm super grateful for all of the people who have come to watch. Hopefully you enjoy what I've had to talk about today. It's a little bit off center with audio, but it really matters because we're talking about industry and the success of an industry. If industry doesn't succeed, we won't have the things that we want. We want them to succeed, but you can't succeed on false promises. You can't inflate your value and think that it's going to be sustainable. That's not the way this works. Word of mouth is still the strongest, and there's nothing you can do about that. Once a person has product in their hands, you can't polish the review and say, oh, this and that. Don't tell lies to cover up the truth. Don't tell stories in order to make it seem something that it isn't. Just tell the truth and own it and recover and follow up and keep speaking the truth. You'll earn way more respect that way. No one's perfect. Nothing's perfect. Pretending that you're perfect is the biggest red flag. So anyway, Scott and Cat, Scott probably, no doubt, man, we'll have a good time. I'm looking forward to it. I don't know what these double Hawaiian symbols are for. My hands are completely messed up from work. All my hands and fingernails are all oily from work. Yes, I work with my hands all day. I don't sit on my chair and do podcasting for a living. That's not sustainable. I don't think the not even $100 I have from YouTube is going to be very significant. That barely pays for my medication every month. So anyways, I'll see everybody next time. Thank you very much for joining in. Like, subscribe, follow, watch previous videos. All the sound demos are there. All the SVS stuff, the Arundel stuff. If you go back far enough, you'll see Sonus Faber Lumina demos. All that stuff is on my channel. So anyways, I'll see you in the future. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your family. Enjoy some music. And I'll catch you next time.